UFO mystery that shocked Mexico. Vertical bar, alien encounters. Fact or fiction?
Thought was, what is happening here? This is not a plane. This is not a drone. What is this thing exploding in the sky? Some people say it is evil things flying around, and the other people say something about UFOs.
All of a sudden, 3 little, I would say, kids got up of it. They were kind of sashaying and running around in circles.
Mexico has long been a hotspot for UFO sightings, captivating both enthusiasts and skeptics alike. From ancient legends to modern-day encounters, the question persists: are these phenomena genuine extraterrestrial visits or mere figments of imagination? In this video, we delve into some of the most compelling UFO incidents in Mexico's history, examining first-hand accounts, scientific analyses, and the ongoing debate surrounding these mysterious occurrences. Don't miss out on more exciting UFO content. Subscribe to UFO Universe and hit the bell icon for the latest updates on extraterrestrial mysteries. Now let's get started. On the 11th of July, 1991, during a total solar eclipse visible across Mexico, an extraordinary event unfolded in Mexico City. As the sky darkened, thousands of residents turned their eyes upward, not just to witness the eclipse, but to observe what many described as a disc-shaped, luminous object hovering silently above the city. Among them was television executive Guillermo Arriguin, who captured the phenomenon on video. His footage, showing a glowing, stationary object in the sky, quickly gained national attention and became a focal point for UFO enthusiasts and researchers alike. The incident marked the beginning of what many consider one of the most significant mass UFO sightings in modern history. Shortly after the footage aired, journalist and UFO investigator Jaime Maussan took a leading role in analysing the evidence. Maussan, known for his work on Mexico's version of 60 Minutes, received over 40,000 calls following the broadcast. He collected more than the 15th of September Arati videos from different parts of the city, 7 of which appeared to show the same object. Notably, similar sightings were reported in Puebla and other regions, with some videos revealing a pulsating disc and even a wave-like energy trail behind it. Maussan compared the footage and concluded that the objects were nearly identical, despite being recorded nearly 100 miles apart at the same time. In addition to video evidence, eyewitness accounts added further intrigue. A university student, Eric Aguilar, described initially seeing a white dot that gradually revealed itself as a radiant object emitting light. Meanwhile, businessman Luis Lara, filming from 60 miles away, noted the object's metallic appearance and the shadow beneath it, details inconsistent with stars or planets. These consistent observations from multiple sources lent credibility to the claims and fueled public fascination. Nevertheless, skeptics have offered alternative explanations. Some suggest the object could have been the planet Venus, a weather balloon, or a misidentified aircraft. Others argue that the unusual lighting conditions during the eclipse may have distorted perceptions. Despite these theories, no definitive explanation has been universally accepted, leaving the 1991 Mexico City UFO sighting an enduring mystery. Then, in 2000, a remarkable video emerged, showing a luminous object seemingly descending into the crater of Mexico's active Popocatépetl volcano. The footage captured a glowing orb drifting into the smoking vent before vanishing from view. Mexican journalist ufologist Jaime Maussan later presented this event as evidence that Popocatépetl might function as a dimensional portal, theorizing that it serves as a gateway for extraterrestrial craft. Mr. Jaime Maussan said, "The University of Bergen in Norway discovered that, under the volcano, there are magnetic storms necessary to be able to generate X-points or regions of electron diffusion and be used to create a dimensional portal. X-points are locations where the magnetic fields of Earth and the Sun meet, forming a route that stretches 93 million miles between the two. The reason they are called X points is that an X shape is formed when the Earth's and Sun's magnetic forces combine. According to Mr. Maussan, these points could form wormhole-like structures, enabling instantaneous interstellar travel, and Albert Einstein first proposed the idea of wormholes in the 1930s. Despite the dramatic portrayal, skeptics argue that the object could be a man-made drone or a small meteor burning up upon entry. Critics point out that consumer drones can display bright LED lights and hover momentarily before descending, which could create a similar visual effect. Additionally, no conclusive evidence has been provided to completely dismiss natural or terrestrial explanations. Overall, given the lack of physical samples, verifiable sensor data, or peer-reviewed analysis, the Popocatépetl volcano footage remains a mystery, neither confirmed UFO nor conclusively explained drone or meteor. The truth could lie in atmospheric phenomena, optical illusions, or misidentified man-made craft. Until rigorous investigations are conducted, the event continues to fascinate imagination while drawing justified skepticism. Next up, in March 2004, a routine surveillance mission by the Mexican Air Force over Campeche took an unexpected turn when pilots recorded 11 unidentified flying objects using infrared cameras. The mission, intended to detect drug-smuggling aircraft, instead captured footage of luminous spheres flying at an altitude of approximately 11,500 feet. These objects, invisible to the naked eye, but clearly visible through infrared, appeared to surround the military jet and moved in ways that defied conventional flight patterns. The Mexican Ministry of Defense later confirmed the authenticity of the footage and released it to the public, igniting intense media coverage and public intrigue.
It would appear that these objects are either intelligent or intelligently controlled because they appear to be communicating with each other as they are following the aircraft.
The video, filmed on the 5th of March 2004, showed the objects maneuvering in apparent formation, with only 3 of them registering on the aircraft's radar. This discrepancy between visual and radar data added to the mystery. According to Lieutenant German Marin, the radar operator, the crew was unsettled by the experience, admitting, "We were facing something that had never happened before." Major Magdaleno Castanon, the pilot, stated that the objects seemed to react to the jet's movements, disappearing once the pursuit ended. Renowned Mexican journalist and UFO investigator Jaime Maussan played a pivotal role in bringing the footage to international attention. He received the video directly from General Ricardo Vega Garcia, then Secretary of Defense, and presented it as compelling evidence of extraterrestrial presence. Maussan emphasized the credibility of the military witnesses and the consistency of the infrared footage, arguing that the object's behavior and formation were beyond the capabilities of known human technology. Maussan told reporters, "This is historic news. Hundreds of videos of UFOs exist, but none had the backing of the armed forces of any country. The armed forces don't perpetrate frauds." Despite the sensational nature of the footage, skeptics offered alternative explanations. Science writer Michael Shermer and other critics proposed that the lights could have been burn-off flares from offshore oil platforms in the Gulf of Mexico. They pointed to the possibility of misinterpretation due to the infrared imaging and the unusual atmospheric conditions at the time. Furthermore, the fact that only a few of the objects appeared on radar raised questions about their physical nature and whether they were solid objects or optical illusions. To this day, the 2004 Campeche incident remains one of the most debated UFO cases involving military personnel. While believers cite it as credible proof of unidentified aerial phenomena, skeptics continue to urge caution, emphasizing the need for scientific scrutiny over sensational conclusions.
Sometimes the government keeps the pilots quiet and don't talk anything about the UFOs. But in this case, we make a press conference. The Mexican Air Force, with this case, recognized that the UFOs...
Alright, before we move to explore other UFO mysteries, Take a few seconds to subscribe to our channel so you will never miss any intriguing episodes about UFOs and aliens. In February 2022, an unusual sighting in San Vicente, Chicoloapan, located in the state of Mexico, sparked intrigue among residents and UFO researchers alike. A local surveillance camera captured footage of what appeared to be a strange airborne entity with a flexible form, protrusions resembling spikes, and two distinct heads of differing sizes. The video, recorded around 1:30 a.m., showed the entity floating just above the ground before shifting direction and vanishing from view. The presence of barking dogs chasing the object added to the impression that it was a tangible physical being rather than a visual anomaly. Mexican journalist and UFO investigator Jaime Maussan brought the footage to public attention through his program Maussan Television. He described the figures as humanoid-shaped entities and emphasized their apparent ability to hover and move independently. The footage, which was part of a longer 36-minute security recording, was trimmed to highlight the 2-minute segment featuring the entities. Maussan suggested that the video revealed a mysterious aspect of the world that we do not see. Despite the compelling visuals, skeptics have raised alternative explanations. Some propose that the object could have been a drone, a piece of debris, or even a trick of light and shadow. Others argue that the unusual appearance might be the result of camera limitations, such as low frame rate and poor lighting conditions. Without corroborating evidence or additional eyewitness accounts, the true nature of the sighting remains unresolved. In general, the San Vicente Chicoloapan incident continues to captivate both believers and skeptics, standing as yet another enigmatic entry in the growing archive of unexplained aerial phenomena. Not only that, on the night of the 7th of September, 2022, residents across Jalisco, Mexico, witnessed a striking aerial phenomenon that quickly gained traction on social media. A video recorded in the region showed a luminous, disc-shaped object hovering silently in the sky before accelerating upward and vanishing from sight. The footage, initially shared by a user known as UFO Hunter, captured the attention of both casual observers and UFO enthusiasts due to the object's intense glow and seemingly unnatural movement patterns. The sighting occurred between 10:30 and 11 p.m., with multiple reports emerging from towns along Lake Chapala's north shore, including Chapala, Ajijic, and Jocotepec. Eyewitnesses described the object as rotating and emitting a steady light, unlike any known aircraft. Among those who documented the event was renowned cartoonist Trino Camacho, who posted a video on Twitter accompanied by the caption, "I'm a skeptic, but in view of this image, I don't know what to think." His reaction echoed the sentiments of many who were both fascinated and puzzled by the occurrence. As the video circulated, speculation intensified. Some viewers proposed that the object might be a drone or a classified military aircraft, citing its maneuverability and sudden disappearance. Others leaned toward extraterrestrial explanations, pointing to the lack of sound and the object's unconventional flight path. However, a more grounded theory soon emerged. The lights may have originated from a passing constellation of Starlink satellites. A scientist from the University of Guadalajara's Instituto de Astronomía y Meteorología suggested that prevailing atmospheric conditions could have distorted the appearance of the satellites, making them seem like a single, spinning craft. This explanation gained traction, especially given the timing of a scheduled Starlink pass over the region that night. Despite this plausible interpretation, not all observers were convinced. The object's brightness, apparent rotation, and abrupt ascent led some to dismiss the satellite theory as insufficient. The debate highlighted the challenges of distinguishing between advanced human technology, natural phenomena, and potential anomalies, especially when relying on limited visual evidence. Eventually, the Jalisco sighting reignited public interest in UFO phenomena across Mexico a country with a long history of unexplained aerial encounters. While no definitive conclusion has been reached, the event remains a compelling case study in the ongoing exploration of unidentified aerial phenomena, balancing scientific skepticism with open-minded curiosity. Whether a misidentified satellite or something more mysterious, the incident continues to fuel discussion and debate. Afterwards, in October 2023, crew members stationed on an oil rig off the coast of Tampico, Mexico, reported a striking encounter with two unidentified flying objects, UFOs. According to eyewitness accounts, the UFOs appeared without warning, hovering above the platform for nearly 10 minutes before vanishing at high speed. One of the crew members captured photographs showing a saucer-shaped craft with glowing lights encircling its base. Another image revealed a triangular object with 3 distinct lights, prompting comparisons to the rumoured SR-91 Aurora, a secretive US military aircraft from the 1980s. The incident occurred as the rig's support legs were being lowered into the seabed, a routine operation disrupted by the sudden appearance of the aerial phenomena. The witness, identified only as Pat, relayed the images and account to media outlets, noting that the objects were completely silent and exhibited no visible propulsion systems. The sighting quickly gained traction online, with many pointing to the clarity of the images and the duration of the encounter as compelling evidence of something extraordinary. Adding a layer of cultural context, the Tampico region has long been associated with legends of an underwater alien base known as Amupac. Local residents believe this submerged facility, allegedly located a few miles off Miramar Beach, has protected the area from hurricanes for over 5 decades. The legend traces back to a 1967 article in El Sol de Tampico, which reported mass sightings of flying saucers and cited a local airport control tower officer who claimed to have tracked 9 unidentified objects in the sky. This historical backdrop has cemented Tampico's reputation as a hotspot for unexplained aerial activity. The October 2023 sighting of UFOs reignited interest in the Amupac legend, with many interpreting the event as further validation of the base's existence. Conversations between oil rig workers and local residents revealed a strong belief in extraterrestrial guardianship, a sentiment that has become deeply ingrained in the community's identity. The consistency of these beliefs, coupled with the photographic evidence, has led some researchers to call for a more thorough investigation into the region's anomalous activity. Nevertheless, skeptics remain cautious. While the images are intriguing, critics argue that without corroborating radar data or independent verification, the objects could be misidentified as aircraft, drones, or even reflections caused by atmospheric conditions. The triangular craft's resemblance to known military prototypes has also fueled speculation that the sighting may involve classified technology rather than extraterrestrial visitors. Despite the uncertainty, the Tampico oil rig encounter continues to captivate the public imagination. Whether viewed as evidence of alien presence or a case of mistaken identity, the event has undeniably added a new chapter to the enduring mystery surrounding the Gulf of Mexico's skies. More notably, previously, in September 2023, Mexican journalist and self-proclaimed ufologist Jaime Maussan made international headlines when he presented 2 small mummified bodies to the Mexican Congress, asserting they were non-human beings. According to Maussan, the specimens were discovered in 2017 in algae mines near Cusco, Peru, and were estimated to be over 1,000 years old. He claimed that the figures, which featured elongated heads and 3 fingers on each hand, were not part of any known terrestrial lineage. During the congressional hearing, Maussan emphasized that the remains had undergone carbon dating and X-ray analysis, suggesting biological structures unlike those of humans. To bolster his claims, Maussan cited research allegedly conducted by the National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, which reportedly performed carbon-14 dating on the samples. However, UNAM quickly distanced itself from the conclusions presented at the hearing. The university clarified that while it had analysed the age of the materials, it had no involvement in verifying the origin or authenticity of the full specimens. This distinction cast doubt on the scientific rigour behind Maussan's assertions and raised concerns about the misuse of academic research for sensational purposes. The presentation drew swift criticism from the scientific community, both in Mexico and abroad. Experts, including astrobiologist Antigona Segura, dismissed the claims as lacking credible evidence. Segura stated that the conclusions were not backed up by science and described the event as shameful for undermining legitimate scientific inquiry. Similarly, Peruvian bioanthropologist Elsa Tomasto Cagigao expressed frustration, noting that similar claims had been debunked in the past and that the bodies likely consisted of manipulated human remains or fabricated models designed to resemble extraterrestrials. Further skepticism emerged from forensic investigations in Peru, where authorities previously examined comparable specimens. A 2017 report from the Peruvian prosecutor's office concluded that similar figures were recently manufactured dolls composed of paper, synthetic glue, and animal bones. Despite the controversy, Maussan stood by his claims, describing the discovery as the most important thing that has happened to humanity. Nonetheless, the lack of peer-reviewed evidence and the history of debunked assertions have led many to view the event as a publicity stunt rather than a credible scientific breakthrough. The incident underscores the importance of critical evaluation and scientific transparency in extraordinary claims. On the other hand, nestled in the Sierra de Juarez mountains of Baja California, Mexico, the small town of La Rumorosa has gained international attention as the self-proclaimed world capital of UFO phenomena. Since 2022, this once quiet community has experienced a surge in reported sightings of unidentified flying objects, particularly during the night when the region's clear skies offer an ideal vantage point for stargazing and, apparently, observing unexplained aerial activity. The town's unique geography, marked by dramatic rock formations and minimal light pollution, has only added to its mystique and appeal among UFO enthusiasts. Embracing its newfound identity, La Rumorosa has taken deliberate steps to celebrate and promote its association with extraterrestrial lore. Several streets have been renamed in honor of prominent figures in the field of ufology, including journalist Jaime Maussan, a well-known Mexican investigator of paranormal phenomena. These symbolic gestures reflect the town's commitment to cultivating a cultural and tourism-driven identity centered around the unexplained. Visitors can now stroll along avenues named after ufologists while enjoying panoramic views of the desert landscape. The town's transformation has also been marked by the launch of the annual World UFO Fest, a multi-day event that draws researchers, believers, and the curious from around the globe. Scheduled each March, the festival features lectures, panel discussions, and even bioenergetic practices aimed at facilitating contact with so-called beings of light. Participants gather at local ranches and campsites, where the absence of artificial lighting enhances the visibility of the night sky. The event has become a cornerstone of La Rumorosa's tourism economy, blending scientific inquiry with spiritual exploration. Beyond the festivities, La Rumorosa's reputation is bolstered by a long history of alleged encounters. One notable case dates back to 1997, when 3 teenagers camping near the town reported seeing multiple saucer-shaped crafts hovering above the mountains. The objects, described as metallic with flashing coloured lights, were said to emit a low whirring sound and display geometric markings. While excitement surrounds such accounts, skeptics urge caution before jumping to conclusions. They argue that the sightings could be attributed to natural phenomena, aircraft misidentifications, or psychological factors influenced by the town's growing reputation. Nevertheless, La Rumorosa continues to captivate imaginations, offering a blend of folklore, science, and spectacle that keeps the mystery alive. Whether one visits for the scenery or the skyward anomalies, the town has undeniably carved out a unique place in the global conversation on unidentified aerial phenomena. What's more, in May 2025, a live webcam in Cozumel, Mexico, captured footage of a dark, saucer-shaped object flying at an almost imperceptible speed past a docked cruise ship. The incident occurred on May 18, 2025, and quickly gained attention online, sparking debates about its nature and origin. The object appeared metallic and dark, moving smoothly across the frame without any visible propulsion or wings. Its slow, deliberate motion contrasted sharply with the typical speed of birds or insects, leading some viewers to speculate about its possible extraterrestrial origin. The footage was shared widely on social media platforms, with many users expressing astonishment and curiosity. Eyewitnesses aboard the cruise ship and nearby locations corroborated the sighting, noting that the object emitted no sound and left no visible trail. Its sudden appearance and disappearance added to the mystery, as it seemed to defy conventional explanations. Meanwhile, experts have offered various explanations for the sighting. Some suggest that the object could be a bird, an insect, or a drone. However, the lack of clear identification and the object's unusual behaviour have kept the debate open. The incident highlights the challenges in distinguishing between natural, man-made, and potentially extraterrestrial phenomena. Similar sightings have been reported in other parts of the world, often leading to discussions about the nature of unidentified flying objects. The Cozumel UFO sighting underscores the persistent challenges in interpreting aerial anomalies. While technological explanations remain on the table, the lack of definitive identification keeps the mystery alive. As with many UFO cases, the event sits at the intersection of science, speculation, and public fascination, highlighting the need for open inquiry and improved observational tools to better understand what might be traversing our skies. Whether mundane or momentous, the sighting has undeniably added another layer to the evolving narrative of unexplained aerial phenomena. On top of that, scientific perspectives on UFOs in Mexico have largely been shaped by a commitment to empirical rigor and skepticism. While public fascination with unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, has surged, especially following high-profile sightings and media coverage, scientists have consistently emphasized the importance of verifiable data. Many researchers acknowledge the statistical likelihood of extraterrestrial life elsewhere in the universe, yet they caution against interpreting unexplained sightings as definitive proof without substantial evidence. This measured stance reflects a broader scientific principle. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Within Mexico, the scientific community has generally approached UFO reports with critical scrutiny. Experts often attribute sightings to more mundane explanations, such as misidentified aircraft, atmospheric distortions, or even deliberate hoaxes. For instance, during a 2023 congressional hearing, where alleged non-human mummified bodies were presented, numerous scientists voiced concern over the lack of peer-reviewed analysis. Astrobiologist Antigona Segura criticized the event as lacking scientific credibility, warning that such spectacles risk undermining legitimate research into extraterrestrial possibilities. Institutions like the National Autonomous University of Mexico, UNAM, have played a central role in maintaining scientific standards in the face of sensational claims. Although UNAM conducted carbon dating on materials associated with the 2023 congressional presentation, it later clarified that its involvement was limited strictly to age verification. The university explicitly distanced itself from any conclusions regarding the specimen's origin, reinforcing its commitment to objectivity and methodological integrity. Internationally, organizations such as NASA have echoed similar sentiments. In response to the same 2023 incident, NASA officials reiterated that while the search for extraterrestrial life remains a legitimate scientific endeavor, it must be grounded in transparent, reproducible research. They emphasized that public trust in science depends on the careful separation of speculation from substantiated findings. Despite the skepticism, some scientists advocate for more open inquiry into unidentified aerial phenomena, particularly when credible witnesses such as pilots or air traffic controllers report anomalies. During the 2023 Mexican congressional hearing, professionals from various countries, including astronomers and aviation experts, called for governments to declassify relevant data. They argued that increased transparency could help scientists better understand these occurrences and assess any potential risks to aviation safety. In conclusion, the UFO phenomenon in Mexico has sparked widespread public fascination while also raising critical scientific questions. From the 1,991 Mexico City sighting to the 2025 Cozumel footage, these events continue to capture attention, yet definitive explanations remain elusive. While UFO enthusiasts advocate for openness in exploring extraterrestrial possibilities, the scientific community maintains a skeptical and cautious approach. Institutions like UNAM and global organizations such as NASA emphasize the importance of empirical evidence and transparency. As debates persist, it's clear that the mystery of UFOs in Mexico will remain a subject of intrigue, speculation, and rigorous inquiry. And this is the end of today's episode, and we truly appreciate you being here. If the stories, evidence, or theories you heard today made you think twice about life beyond Earth, please like the video and subscribe to the UFO Universe channel. We have more incredible investigations and discoveries coming soon. Don't miss out. Join the growing community of truth seekers.